Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. As usual, just give me a few minutes just to make sure the stream stabilizes. And then we'll continue on with the Forsaken remaster. Hey Ant, as always, thanks for tuning in. Awesome Destroyer, good to see you too. Hope you've all had an enjoyable week and you're getting ready for a good weekend. I love your Japan eye too. Okay, so just making a few tweaks to the stream, so just bear with me. I always try to make sure it's as stable as possible just before I start. Also as well, as always, if you can let me know if the microphone audio levels are okay. And also the game background music should be okay once I actually get into the level, because I've kept it the same as last time. I checked it back, it sounded okay. But as always, things change. Okay, so the stream all looks good, signal strength is fine, upload speed's good. Okay, so let's just get cracking. So as always, thanks to everybody for tuning in. We're going to continue on with the Forsaken remaster, which came out a couple of days ago. And at the last stream we did the first two levels. We're just going to continue on now with the nuclear power station. Quick roll call, Awesome Destroyer, good to see you, and Retro Gamer, good to see you guys both in the chat, always nice and early. So again, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, as always, as I play, I will try to answer as many questions as possible, but we'll see how we get on. So I've made a few tweaks to the field of to the controls and the FOV, just to try and make things a little bit more, I suppose, playable. I think I still need to do a few control tweaks because it's a little bit less responsive than I probably need for a game of this speed. Yeah, VPW is a really cool wrestling game, and yeah, you're right, it is AJ Styles' favourite wrestling game, so definitely I will get around to doing that. It's been one of those games kind of for a long time where I've been wanting to get around to, but I've just not got the chance to do it just yet. But it is on the to-do list, so. You see, Ant, I'm pretty sure, well, you always seem to show up in the streams anyway, so if you are here earlier than normal, thanks for coming in. Yeah, Styles is a good wrestler. I've met him before, back when I think he did TNA. In fact, I think I've got a photo with him somewhere. Maybe it's over on my private Facebook page. Okay, so yeah, I had a backstage with a couple of the TNA. In fact, yeah, so a while ago I had a backstage with a couple of TNA guys when they were, you know, Samoa Joe and everyone was still there, Hulk, Sting. So I had backstage at Manchester, which was one of their events that they did over here. And yeah, he was pretty cool. Scott Steiner was there as well, batshit crazy as you'd expect, but that's who I was looking for. Yeah, I was kind of sad, always sad. I mean, Acclaim have so many good IPs, like so many. I mean, this was quite an easy job for Night Dive Studios, I feel, you know, because there's a lot of underground, especially from the PC scene. There's a lot of people that still really enjoy Forsaken. I think a lot of people forget just how many really good IPs they have, or they had. we go. So yeah, I made some tweaks to the controls of this as well, because I think I mentioned it in the last stream. By default, they've kind of got really weird control setups on this, where they've got the right bumper. So they've got right trigger as primary and right bumper as secondary, which really didn't work. It's one of those games probably still a mouse and keyboard would be really good for. Did Scott Steiner demonstrate his mad math skills? He didn't really say a lot. He was in one of those moods, I guess, where he knew that he kind of had to do something, but really, you could just kind of tell he wasn't really all that interested in actually being there or, you know, meeting any of the fans and stuff. So it was kind of a weird experience. Yeah, you see, a lot of people ask me my thoughts on Sea of Thieves, but Sea of Thieves I've not really got around to playing. One of my friends really likes it. He drops by the chat sometimes, my friend Aaron. So if Aaron Bailey shows up in the chat stream, he's a really big fan of Sea of Thieves, but I've not actually got around to playing it. I've actually got it. I think it was part of Game Pass, which I had or I may have. You know what I'm like with new stuff. I'm not that in tune with what I've got and what I haven't got, but it was a game that he played a lot of, and you know, I think Rare banked a lot on it, but okay, so shield's low, so I need to try and be a little bit careful. There we go, a bit more shield.
Shield's low. My energy is pretty spent. Shield. Solaris.
And I think a load of enemies should have just boosted out of there. I'm really low on power and like everything I need. So let's kind of get some power back up. There we go, general ammo.
Solaris.
Project Jotun, thanks for tuning in. Gotta remember which shaft here to go up. Okay, there's a crystal as well. Nitro skin unlocked. Okay, so I don't need to go to the particle accelerator just yet. I think that's pretty much the last place where I need to go. That's like the last switch, so just let me check out. Yeah, I knew that was one of like the trapped parts. There we go, gotta collect that gold. That's probably an overpowered weapon to use just to take out those guys, but what the hell. Ah, oh, clipped me just before I got that extra health.
Dream on.
Okay. Bill Pippin, good to see you. I'm not there. So let me just figure out. Okay, yeah, so this needs to go back, so that'll let me re-pick up the ammo that I've just had dumped off me. What? Okay, that gives me my power back up. Or some of it at least, anyway. The Susgun is probably my favourite weapon. See, I'm more of a run and gun player. I know some people, especially if you watch people stream this, a lot of people are more defensive than I am. Okay, that's not one of the secret areas, I don't feel. Yeah, a lot of people play a lot more defensively than I do. Yeah, that's right. The PC and the PlayStation version of this, they were pretty much the same version, bar a few sort of graphical, tweaks and changes. But the N64 version was pretty much a game in its own right. It's not too much. I don't feel like this is too much of a hard game. It's one of those where you just got to have a really, or at least try and have a really good memory for where you're going, because it's very much like Descent 1 and 2. It's very maze-like. That, I'm sure I can blow those up. I'm sure that's a secret area. There we go.
To do with my time, you know.
Always need that ammo. fact, I think I need to go back through the gate. There we go.
I do have better things to do with my time, you know.
Oh, really? Oh, come on, I thought I had enough health there to be able to get through that.
Dream on.
I guess not. Okay, in fact, maybe I don't need to go there just yet.
Come on, is that the best you can do?
Okay, so yeah, I needed to get a, what are they called? Turbo boost. Yeah, so I need to get some boost, nitro, so I can just sprint through that. Yeah, there is another camera view. It's the one which is like a third person view, but it's really, really tricky to play in. It's even more disorientating. Okay, I'm not going to go back down there just yet, even though I need my stuff back. Okay, so I'm just checking that I've got all of the switches, which I have, apart from the gate. So this must be one of the weirdest games to watch somebody stream, because the amount of motion in the display is insane. It's always like swaying all over the place. Okay, that's what I needed. Okay, so that's another switch, but yeah, that's what I needed. But I've come here with so little ammo. Up into the reactor core. No, this isn't the reactor core. Okay, no, this is just one area. And I don't think that was a secret area. Yeah, the atmosphere in this game is pretty good. It's kind of like a, I suppose, like any sort of other dystopian type of game, really. But it's pretty cool nonetheless. Okay, so I've got that switch. Where did you learn to fly? She's got a mouth on her. I don't need to go back through there. Okay, so if I remember correctly, I think the last switch I need is the one which is... really do again some ammo. Yeah, I think the last switch I need is through here. This is not PC, this is the Xbox One S version. So if you get the Xbox One X version, that's the one that can do 4K, but I can't stream in 4K. Yeah, the thing you got to remember with this remaster is it's a bit of a blend. So it's not purely the N64 version. This has got a lot, pretty much most of the elements from PC. I do believe that they've kind of put some of the N64 levels into this one. So this is more like the PC one. So the word difference is the PC version, I believe, was developed by Probe. And I cannot remember exactly who did the N64 version. So it was like the same sort of engine scenario, but there are differences, especially in the levels, which is why anyone who's watching the first stream would have looked at it and probably thought I don't recognize any of this. Okay, no, so I need to go here. No, so I'm going the right way, but just getting a little bit mazy. So if I go down the left tunnel, that's where I just was. So then if I go to the right tunnel, it takes me back here. So I can't go in there just yet. I just need to get the last switch. So this is where I go after that. So I need to go to that where you have to follow the nuclear reactor beam along the floor. So that's what I'm trying to remember where it is. Yeah, Night Dive did doing a really good job with the games that they're picking up the rights to. So I enjoyed the Turret remasters, which I will finish off the stream, by the way. A lot of people ask about it, but I will get around to it. But in fact, I was probably planning on finishing it, and then I saw this came out, and I know there'd be some sort of fresh interest in this, so I thought I'd get on the stream action whilst it's still a fresh title for a lot of people. Okay, so I cannot remember for the love of me where the... Ah, this is it. This is what I needed. This bit's pretty tough because there's a lot of those guys just tucked away.
Shield. Never stood a chance.
And a lot of mines that get left. Gotcha. Okay, so basically I need to clear the path. What's attacking me? Was there one more? Okay. Yeah, so I need to clear the path and then stay on this beam, and it should let me go through to the last switch. So we're looking okay on time. Okay, why is it not letting me on? Is that saying I've come off it? Keep saying I've come off it. Heavy metal question. What is your favourite heavy metal band? Probably Metallica. Would you class them as heavy metal? I don't know. I don't know what kids these days class as heavy. But yeah, Metallica's probably about one of the heavy ones. Goldfinger 64. That was the finished game. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about it. Some people really enjoy it. Others, such as myself, you know, thought there were some cool parts, but it was flawed to an extent. I could really do with getting some decent ammo, because this is really too weak for this stage of the level. Plus, I should just about have enough time if I can get a move on. Why does it not let me through there now? Up through the roof, that's why. Oh, no, I need to get the switch. That's what I need. I'm going to have to try and be a little bit creative to get out of dodge a bit. There we go. Finally got through that level. Yeah, it was a little bit tricky, that one. Did it with just about enough time remaining in the level. And to be fair, I did kill quite a large number of the enemies. You know, there's a couple of gold bars I missed there. There was a little bit of slowdown there. I'm not too sure. I don't think that was from all that much in particular, to be honest. The console's obviously fast enough to run it on. Okay, so now we're in the thermal power station. So built into the heart of a thermal vent, this shockproof station still remains largely intact. It was used by the military as a stronghold during their salvage operation. You must deactivate the lava engine to escape through the pipes to the surface. And Retro Game, am I a fan of the Sega Master System? It's probably one of my least played consoles. Really, I actually played that. It was one of the first consoles I played, but never really got into it. Where I lived in London at the time, a lot of us were all Nintendo kids. So, in fact, saying that, a lot of the kids I was friends with were Nintendo kids, but we had the Sega Genesis, so Sega Mega Drive is what we had really early on when it first came out. Okay, so I don't know this level at all. So this should be interesting. I always thought there was some pretty decent AI in this as well.
I do have better things to do with my time, you know. Solaris. Incoming.
Yeah, Sega was, I'd probably say, more popular initially here in the UK. I'm sure some people will argue or disagree with that, but a lot more kids. I think it's because there's more arcades, and again, I guess it was because I grew up in London, so.
You never stood a chance. Solaris.
Yeah, maybe it was a southern thing.
Shield. Nitro. Mark. Shield. Projects. Power pod. No way. Shield. Incoming. Shield.
It's a trap room.
Multiple flavor. I do have better things to do with my time.
Definitely no slowdown right there.
Gold scatter. Shield. Prove to me you're not a wimp. Multiple fire rocket launcher. Orbital. Shield.
Well, that was intense.
Orbital. Saska. Shield. Incoming. Solaris. Multiple fire rocket launcher.
Okay, a large enemy force detected. Is this going to be a boss level?
Incoming. Incoming. Incoming.
Let's just run and gun it.
Incoming. Prove to me you're not a wimp. Incoming. Incoming.
My shields seem to be okay, given the fact I'm just really going a little bit crazy.
Incoming. Incoming. Shield.
Let me just retreat a little bit. Give myself a bit of breathing space.
Shield. Incoming. Incoming.
Well, considering how much ammo I'm getting in this section right here, I'm expecting there's going to be something pretty badass coming up. What's up, Cuba? Always pleased when Polish people tune in. As you know. I can't forget those gold bars. There we go. Yeah, Turok 3 Remaster, I really can't see them doing as much as I want to see them do it. Just can't see him. It would be cool though, maybe one day. But I'm not too sure how well these sales have been for Night Dive Studios. I'd imagine, you know, most people were probably wanting Turok 1 and 2, but Turok 3 is always for a lot of people the sort of black horse or the dark sheep of the series. So I don't know how they feel about that. Okay, just checking I wasn't a secret. Do I need to blow those up? No, I guess not. Okay, now I just need to try and figure out what I need to do in this section. Ah, there we go. So, do any of these have... Always a maze this game, always a maze. Just always got to keep your eye out for any small little area where you can just squeeze into. Okay, so it's locked me in here. So there's got to be something that I need to do. Ah, okay. I kind of get it. Is this a puzzle, or is this just by chance that light is green? Yeah, Night Dive Studios are not a huge place, but the work they do is cool. I enjoy it. I enjoy the stuff that they do. Okay, now I'm going to get pasting.
Come on, is that the best you can do?
This is an official release, Night Dive Studios. It's been out for a couple of days now. Although there are many fan sort of versions. Well, I wouldn't say fan versions, but like fans have kind of kept the game going a lot for a long time on PC anyway.
Come on, is that the best you can do? Shield.
It's one of those games that's never really... A bit like Revolt, actually, which funnily enough came from Probe as well.
I do have better things to do with my time, you know. Come on, prove to me you're not a wimp.
Ah, so this brings me back to this place where I was before. I'd love to see a proper remake of Shadow Man. I think I've mentioned that on the channel before. It'd definitely be a game I'd love to see them, you know, give a proper, because the sequel Second Coming really wasn't that great. The one on PlayStation 2 is kind of like a platformer, like it didn't have the same sort of Metroidvania style of gameplay as the original Shadow Man. Yeah, Winback, but then again, they kind of already did the Operation Winback remaster when they re-released it on PlayStation 2. So they kind of already did it, I suppose, before remasters or remakes were really a thing.
You never stood a chance.
Okay, so I can't get through there just yet. There's plenty of enemies following me down here, so let's just go back and clear out the way. Well, to be honest, Shadow Man was actually it was the same game on all systems, so but then again, they've also done, there's like a fan-made HD texture pack, which I've seen on, I think someone on YouTube. I think I remember watching someone's playthrough of it, and it looked pretty good. But you know what I mean, like with a complete redo job, would be really cool. Okay, so that's where I came in. So I don't think I found everything back down where I was a second ago, so I'm just going to go back. Yeah, Shadow Man's definitely one of those games. I think a lot of people probably bought it or rented it and could never complete it. So then they rent it to, or gave it to friends. But also it sold really well. You know, it's one of Acclaim's big games of that year. So I think a lot of people had it. So it was one of those. It was quite cheap to pick up. Not too long after the game's release.
Shield.
There we go. Clear the mines that thing just dropped. There we go. Yeah, Blast Core would be good. That would definitely be of interest to a lot of people.
Even I have to take it easy sometimes.
Okay, taking a bit of a pasting. There we go. Mortal Kombat Mythologies Remastered, lol. Okay, so it's not letting me go into there, which probably means there's some sort of switch. Okay, teleport's out of action. Ah, sneak shot.
You want it? You got
Okay, at least I don't have to go back far. I can pick up like all of my gear straight away.
Portable fire rocket launcher. Light portable projects.
Gotcha.
Shield. Power pod. Mark. Power pod.
Yeah, definitely not Superman 64 remaster. Definitely don't think that there's any demand for that. Or any need to torture a developer who's got the sorry job of having to... you must destroy the engine to access the volcanic pipes. Okay, where's the engine? Are we saying this is the engine? Okay, we're saying up here's probably the engine. No, that's where I've just come from.
Come on, prove to me you're not a wimp. Shield. Solaris.
Okay, it says I've got to destroy the engine. What's the engine? See, that's one thing. They don't make it too clear. I mean, they give you what the objective is, but apart from that, you don't know what. I mean, is this thing the engine? Or is there going to be a secret tunnel door that I need to find? I don't want to try and go through there because it'll probably kill me. Ah, well, tried it.
Dream on.
So how do I destroy the engine when I don't even know where it is? Okay. Great. And I can't even pick up all my old gear again because... Wow. Didn't see all those guys come back. So it looks like you got to do it piece by piece. Okay, that wasn't too tricky. It's one of those cryptic places. The new dialogue, you can kind of turn it on and off. I think it's from the... Ah. Again, the definitive collection. Just not the N64 version. Oh, damn it. They're always tucked away in really hard to see places, those guys, the turrets. That was, I should have seen that one though. And I could really do with getting some proper ammo again. Dodging bullets.
Come on, prove to me you're not a wimp. My energy's pretty spent.
Yeah, Carmageddon games are okay. It's just the N64 version. It's just real bad. Okay, so we've got another mercenary biker, so let's try and hunt him down. There we go. No challenge with that one. That was probably like the easiest biker to take down. Did something just hit me? Yeah, Daikatana Remastered. Okay, that was not too bad. I didn't find the crystal on that level. But I got quite a lot of the enemies and found half the gold. Okay, so this is the Federal Bank Vault. Disable the bank's generator to reach the lower maximum security vaults. Codes are needed to gain access to each security vault. Collect as much gold as you can, then make good your escape through the bank's old concealed exit. N64 Brazil, good to see you too. I think I missed your most recent stream after catching the Resident Evil 2 ones. It's good to see you. Macandada, hi to you too. Azzy, always good to see you tuning in. Andy's Hat, welcome. Golden Jupiter Studios. Have I ever heard of Superman 64 for PS1? That kind of doesn't make sense. So no, I've not heard of that one. Rogue Leader Remaster would be pretty cool. Superman was due to come out on the PlayStation, but Titus started to build a game and then forgot that they didn't have the rights for it anymore. So then apparently they went to negotiate to get the rights back for the Superman game that they'd already built, but by that point it was too late apparently. You can read more about that in the N64 anthology, I believe. I'm pretty sure they did touch on it in there. Yeah, so these bars you can't pick up, so I need to come back to get those. Yep, N64 Brazil, as I always say to anyone on the channel, if you're a fan of N64, you've definitely got a channel that people should be subscribed to. So if you're watching the stream and you're not already subscribed to N64 Brazil, definitely check out their channel. They do live streams, they do speak in English as well as Portuguese. So especially for anyone that that speaks multiple languages, is definitely an even better channel to subscribe to. The stream shouldn't be dying. I've got a fibre optic. I've got a really fast stream. So if anything, just try refreshing the stream if you personally are having problems. But the stream generally, I've got such a fast upload speed. It shouldn't be an issue for pretty much anyone, even streaming at 1080p. Yeah, I'd like to see Eternal Darkness, a beta or a prototype of it released for the N64. There's never really a game. I don't think I played it all that much on the GameCube when it eventually came out on there, so it's a game that I'd like to go back and revisit for sure. Was Resident Evil 0 ever? No, that was never released. Just the one Resident Evil on N64. Just check there's nothing there that I need to switch. No, that looks all good. So it said the firewall's being deactivated. I think, was the firewall back this way? Let's check.
You can do.
Yeah, this game is really fun. and it's a lot easier to control on the Dreamcast than on the N64. Okay, that one's already. Okay, so there's quite a few respawning enemies right here. Definitely a lot faster than the N64 version was. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing apparently the 40 winks to see what version, because they keep saying, oh, they've got a more finalized version than the game that's been out for years, but I've not really looked into it all that much, to be honest, because I'm still quite dubious about whether the version that they're actually trying to release as a brand new game is any different than the if it's any different than the version that's been around online for years, the game that I covered in the N64 beta project years ago. So that'll be interesting to see.
You never stood a chance.
Checking for secrets. Now there's got to be something. Okay, I thought that would maybe lead to something, but not quite. Okay, so it's just one of those triggers.
Come on, prove to me you're not a wimp.
Everything moves a bit slower underwater, as you'd expect. It just makes taking these enemies down a little bit harder. Okay, so I've got the safe key. Do I plan on finishing this stream or doing some multiplayer? I haven't actually got, because as most people know, I very rarely play modern consoles. I haven't got Xbox Gold, which annoyingly is something that you need to be able to play this multiplayer. But also, from what I've seen, there doesn't really seem, a bit like Turok 2, there doesn't really seem to be that many people actually playing the multiplayer. So I'll have to wait and see. I don't know if anyone else has got this and you want to add me as a friend, definitely. You know, we'll try and, if people get this and they want to have a session on it, you know, I'm sure we can all sort out a time. I can post it over on the Facebook group, and if people want to play this multiplayer, for sure, if we can get enough of us together, why not? I don't think you can change the music to the N64 music. So I think you just have to stick to the PC music.
to me you're not a wimp.
I'm sure that's going to trigger some enemies.
Come on, is that the best you can do?
Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Ah. 16-bit Brick, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you've been well too. Okay, so this is a pretty tricky section. Oh, I already got the key. Okay. Dad1153 is original N64 Forsaken on a modded with Ultra HDMI system worth playing over this new version for nostalgia. This is, if I was playing Forsaken now, this is probably the version that I'd play, but remember they are different. The N64 version's basically a different game. So it's like comparing chalk and cheese really. They are separate games. The storyline for Forsaken is different from Descent, so yeah, they're basically separate, different games. Yeah, full power sus. Okay, so I'm guessing I need to try and figure out a way to get past there. Okay, so I need to figure out a way to deactivate this, but... Oh, it was as easy as that, really? Oh, no it wasn't. It was as easy as that. I've already played Turok 3, obviously, before. Will I live stream Turok 3? Possibly. Mark Holden, thank you. Now I'm guessing I'm going to need to try and blow these all at the same time, which is...
Prove to me you're not a wimp. Come on, is that the best you can do? Even I have to take it easy sometimes. Oh, critical.
Getting a little bit tense. Ah.
Dream on.
Well, at least that's restarted straight at a spawn point. Okay, so now I need to figure out what I need to do with these switches. Really low on powerful weapons. Where the hell is that coming from? This game costs, yeah, about 20 bucks. I think there's like an opening week sale on. So I think it was like 10% off for this first opening week. Oh.
We'll meet again.
Well, I'm gonna have to come back and do that another day. So that was challenging. So again, really appreciate those that just started to comment with the code for the green area. I didn't actually know that there were codes for those, to be honest. That one's one of the PC levels. So I know the N64 level is a lot better than I do that one. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in. We will pick up the next stream where we finished off, so we'll restart that level. So again, really appreciate everyone tuning in. Hope you have a good weekend. And remember, those that are commenting now saying you should listen to me, Razorblade 1812, the screen that you're seeing is probably about a minute or so behind where I am. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I've got a wedding tomorrow that I'm attending, so I need to go get some rest and get a shower and get a good night's sleep for a long day tomorrow. So I hope you all have a great weekend if I don't catch you beforehand, and we'll be up for another stream pretty soon.